Hello and welcome inside the ACU TV or studio for this week's Optimist Newscast. My name is Cindy Vonner, Connor Mullins, and just a minute with sports. Our top stories this week include SGA election results, the college tour casting, and a recap of this past week in sports. This is the Optimist Newscast. Student government held elections for new student senators on September 9th, and the election results were released Monday and are as follows. Freshman President Callahan Mitchell, Sophomore President Elena Denton, Junior President Mariana Martinez, and Senior President Catherine Shoemaker. SGA plans to host more town halls this year to focus on student engagement outside of elections and overall communication throughout this upcoming school year. The Allen Ridge Shopping Center hosted its grand opening this past weekend. The event involved a ribbon-cutting ceremony, prizes, games, and live music later on in the evening. Although most of the businesses have already been operating, the grand opening was to commemorate the center's completion and let the community know about the shops. However, the complex is not entirely filled, so expect to see more businesses in the near future. ACU will be featured in the 8th season of The College Tour. This documentary-style show highlights what it's like to live on different college campuses around the country. ACU will be featured alongside colleges like Oregon and Texas Christian University. It will be filmed on October 3rd and will stream on 17 platforms, including Amazon Prime, once it is complete. Up next, sports had an eventful weekend with some formidable opponents. Here's Connor Mullins with more. Connor?
Thanks, Sydney. Football had a tough loss this past weekend, falling to Missouri 34-17. Two early touchdowns put the Wildcats behind and would ultimately play into their downfall. Missouri would take a 78-yard punt return for a touchdown just over a minute into the game. The Tigers would hold the Wildcats at bay as they would continue to put pressure on every aspect of the game.
I think there's things that you can take away that are positive. I think you still have to look at it. You coach with such a critical eye. I look at the things that really stuck out to me as I was so proud of our kid, the effort that our players gave us. They just played with a toughness and a grit. They just kept, the same play, the next play mentality. And so I was very proud of our effort.
The next game will be against the Western New Mexico Mustangs this Saturday at 7 and will also be streaming on ESPN+. Soccer faced off against Tarleton on Sunday, starting WAC play for the Wildcats. AC went into this game with a 4-2-1 record after the 1-0 sweep against Texas Southern. However, these longtime rivals would prove formidable as the game would ultimately end in a 1-1 tie. Their next game is this Sunday against Utah Tech at Elmer Gray Stadium. Men's basketball has posted their game schedule for the 22-23 season. Basketball will have 12 non-conference games before beginning regular season play December 29th against SFA. 5 out of those 12 non-conference games will be held in newly renovated Moody Coliseum under provision of second-year head coach Brett Tanner. This past Thursday, flag football intramurals started. Taking the men's champ division by storm was GSP and New Kappa Psi. New Kappa Psi would come out on top, however, after their 7-6 win. Both teams have this to say about the start of their season.
It wasn't that tough, really. We were on our clamps, we were clamping them the whole game, and we were in our zone. So, it was good competition, but we executed at the end and we got things done. You know what I'm saying?
I did nothing. All I did was give structure to my boys. My boys play their hearts out. That's it. All I can do is share love with them. That's it. That's all.
Women's rec division was highlighted by the sporty Cogies against the slick Kappas. As the excitement built during the game, the Cogies would score in the second half to take the opening game victory. The Cogies had this to say about the victory.
All right, so it was an amazing win. I love coaching Cogies. I've coached some teams before, and it's always a pleasure coaching them. They played really well. It's always that first game's always a little bit iffy on how they're going to do, how they're going to compete. And this Kappa team was super good to play against, and they were coached very well. So it was an awesome win. It felt good just seeing their reactions every time we scored. So this is a great game.
It was fun. A little bit nerve-wracking at first just because it's all new and there's a lot of people. But once you get into it, and you're around the girls that you're in sorority with, and it's just a loving environment, so much fun. And especially knowing the girls in their side of the field, it's just a really good community to be out here.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's Optimist Newscast. I'm Connor Mullins.
And I'm Cindy Varner. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.